Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you feel a woman watching you differently, measuring your silence more than your words, this is for you. Because the moment she craves an older man, she doesn't flirt first, she tests. Before we begin, subscribe to the channel and like this video because what I'm about to say will challenge the stories you were taught, and it helps this work reach men who need it. I'm speaking to you as a psychologist, but also as a woman who understands desire beneath manners. When a woman is drawn to an older man, it isn't about age. It's about nervous system safety, authority without force, and a calm that doesn't beg. She wants to know if you are grounded enough to hold her emotions without trying to fix them. That's why she asks questions that seem harmless. They are not, they are mirrors. The first moments matter. She watches how you respond when the air goes quiet. Do you rush to fill it, or do you let presence do the talking? Men who chase validation talk faster. Men who know themselves breathe slower. Your pace tells her whether you lead yourself. Older masculine energy is not loud, it's contained, and containment is intoxicating. Here is the truth men are rarely told. A woman craving an older man is scanning for integrity under pressure. She has learned that charm fades, looks change, and promises evaporate. What remains is character. So she will nudge you emotionally, not to provoke, but to observe. Does your sense of self wobble when she challenges you softly? Or do you stay curious, steady, and kind? Notice this. She is not testing your dominance. She is testing your regulation. Can you disagree without contempt? Can you listen without collapsing? Can you answer without performing? These moments decide attraction faster than any line you memorize. If this feels uncomfortable, good. Growth always is. Older masculine energy isn't about controlling outcomes. It's about being responsible for your inner world. When you master that, women feel it immediately, even before they understand why. Stay with me and listen closely, because what she asks next will reveal whether she sees you as a boy aging or a man becoming. This understanding changes how you show up, speak less, stand taller, and choose patience over panic, confidence over noise, presence over proof in every intimate moment. She will ask the first question casually, almost playfully, and most men miss it because they answer with their mouth instead of their nervous system. She asks something like, "What are you really looking for right now?" Or "Where do you see yourself in a few years?" This is not about plans. This is about congruence. She wants to feel whether your words line up with your life. Older masculine energy is coherent. Younger energy over-explains. When you answer, she watches your eyes, your breath, your pauses. Are you trying to impress her future, or are you grounded in your present? Men who crave approval sell potential. Men who know their value state reality. She is listening for emotional honesty without emotional dumping. A centered answer sounds simple, even boring, and boring to the ego feels safe to the heart. If you inflate, she feels instability. If you shrink, she feels burden. If you speak cleanly, without apology or bravado, something in her softens, because she isn't asking what you want. She's asking if you can want something without needing her to complete it. This is where many men fail without knowing why attraction fades overnight. Older masculine presence communicates direction, not certainty. You don't need the perfect answer. You need alignment. It's okay to say you're still refining your path if your tone shows ownership. It's okay to desire companionship without desperation. What repels her is incongruence. When ambition is borrowed, values are recycled, and confidence is performed. As a psychologist, I can tell you this question activates her attachment system. She is subconsciously asking, can I relax around this man, or will I have to manage him emotionally? Your response tells her whether you are self-led or externally driven. She has done enough emotional labor already. If she feels calm, listening to you, she leans in. If she feels confused, she pulls back. Not because you failed, but because her body detected work. And desire never volunteers for work in the beginning. This is why older men who are honest about where they stand often win against younger men who promise the world. Truth spoken calmly carries more weight than fantasy spoken loudly. And she feels that truth before she understands it. Sit with that. Let this awareness slow you down, deepen your answers, and remind you that steadiness is felt, not announced, especially by a woman watching. The second question is quieter, subtler, but far more revealing. She won't ask it like a test. You won't notice until later, but it will pierce deeper than the first. She wants to know how you handle boundaries, and she frames it in everyday life. Something like, would you help me even if it was inconvenient? Or, how do you react when things don't go your way? On the surface, it's mundane. Beneath it, it exposes the structure of your inner world. Most men stumble here. They see a simple question and give a simple answer. She isn't interested in yes or no. She's tracking your consistency, your patience, and your willingness to carry responsibility without resentment. Older masculine energy doesn't inflate. It doesn't push for recognition. It quietly demonstrates reliability. She feels the gravity of a man who can act, hold, and respond without needing applause. Here's what few men understand. When she asks this, she is evaluating your emotional elasticity. Can you bend without breaking? Can you be firm without rigidity? Can you say no without guilt? Women crave older men because they crave emotional security. But security is not about control. It's about presence. She wants to feel that if life shakes, you won't shake with it. That your calm is not dependent on hers. If your first answer proves your honesty, this second reveals your character. Men who overcompensate, who explain too much, or who justify every decision fail the test before they realize it. She is watching the subtle cues, tone, posture, micropauses. Every hesitation, every fidget, every forced smile tells her more than words ever could. Desire in women is always a somatic experience. She will feel your inner regulation before she decides if she trusts it. And here's the truth most men never hear. She isn't just testing for how much you can give. She's testing for how much you can hold. Not objects, not promises, not favors, but yourself, your emotions, your commitments, your presence. If you pass this test, she unconsciously relaxes and her attraction spikes. Fail it, and no charm or technique can bring it back. Understanding this shifts everything. It's no longer about impressing her, chasing her, or performing masculinity. It's about cultivating the internal authority that makes your presence undeniable. Women are wired to detect this. She doesn't need you to say it, she feels it. Your next move, your tone, even the way you breathe, becomes the signal that either draws her in or lets her pull away. If you want her desire, you need to master this first. Calm, consistency, and self-possession speak louder than all words combined. This is the invisible architecture of older masculine energy, and it's what makes her linger, wonder, and ultimately crave you. Most men make a critical mistake here. They think attraction is earned through effort, charm, or even grand gestures. But when a woman craves an older man, she doesn't respond to noise. She responds to stability, to a quiet strength that doesn't compete with her. She tests, yes, but not for your ego. She's testing for a truth so few men understand. Can you be steady when she mirrors chaos? Imagine her eyes watching while you navigate a minor conflict, a small misunderstanding, or even a casual disagreement. She is scanning for your emotional bandwidth. Can you stay anchored when provoked? Can you listen without defending? Can you respond without performing? The older masculine man doesn't just survive these moments. He thrives quietly, and his calm becomes magnetic. She feels it before she even names it. Here's something I want you to notice. She doesn't crave perfection. She craves presence. Your human flaws don't repel her. Your instability does. She wants a man who can carry his emotions without collapsing or exploding. That's what these tests reveal. Every subtle question, every pause, every glance is a mirror for your inner world. She's not judging your surface, she's scanning your foundation. And here's the hidden truth that will change how you show up. When she tests you, she's offering a chance to demonstrate the kind of man who doesn't need to dominate, convince, or chase. She's giving you permission to show her, through your presence alone, that you are reliable, grounded, and unshakable. Most men fail because they think they must perform. The older man knows the performance is in restraint, not theatrics. If you master this, attraction becomes effortless. You don't have to craft words or strategies. You simply hold yourself, and she responds instinctively. Her desire isn't intellectual, it's somatic. She feels the steadiness, the containment, the subtle authority of a man who knows himself. That's why she will test twice, sometimes unknowingly, before she ever allows herself to lean in. So here's the challenge. Are you willing to slow down, breathe, and embody steadiness? Are you willing to let your inner world carry weight without needing external validation? Women crave older men because they detect depth. They want someone who can hold himself even when life shakes, who can listen without correcting, who can answer without performing. That mastery, quiet, invisible, powerful, is what makes desire inevitable. Notice how every small interaction becomes a proving ground, not for her amusement, not for your ego, but for truth. Because once she knows she can trust you to hold yourself, her craving transforms from curiosity into deep, almost unconscious longing. And that is when older masculine energy becomes irresistible. Let me tell you something most men never hear. Desire doesn't ignite in her mind first, it ignites in her body. Her questions, her tests, her little challenges are all signals. She's feeling your energy before she even registers the words you say. That's why these two questions, the one about your path, the one about your boundaries, are so crucial. They bypass charm, bypass looks, bypass status. They go straight to your nervous system. When she asks these questions, she isn't trying to trick you. She's trying to calibrate safety. Can she relax around you, or will she have to constantly manage your emotions? Can she feel a man who carries himself without collapse? That's the essence of what older masculine energy communicates. Safety without suffocation, authority without force, desire without neediness, and she feels it immediately. Most men respond instinctively with words or actions that show effort. Effort to impress, to please, to perform. That's the opposite of what she's craving. She wants presence. Presence means you don't have to justify yourself, explain every move, or overcompensate for every hesitation. Presence is calm authority, radiating without trying. When you can embody that, she relaxes into attraction rather than calculating it. Here's the subtle but critical detail. She's not just observing what you do, she's observing how you do it. Your tone, your pace, your gaze, your willingness to be still when challenged. All of these communicate more than speech ever could. The older masculine man understands this. He knows that words are only a fraction of communication. She feels your inner regulation, and if it's stable, she leans in. If it wavers, she holds back. And this is where most men fail without knowing why. They think attraction is about showing value externally, money, looks, knowledge. But the truth is, she craves emotional containment, reliability, and depth. When a woman tests you with these two questions, she's scanning for whether you can deliver that invisibly, without effort, without performance. That's the kind of magnetic energy that no trick, tactic, or line can replicate. So here's the takeaway. If you want to trigger deep, instinctual desire, your focus must be internal. Master your nervous system, own your emotions, speak truth without performance, move without neediness, stand firmly in your own world. When she asks, "What do you want?" or "How do you handle this?" she's giving you the stage to show her exactly that. She doesn't just want a man who talks about security. She wants a man who is it. And when she feels that, her craving isn't just fleeting, it becomes undeniable. She leans in, she lingers, she can't help it, and all it took was your quiet mastery. Here's a truth that most men will never be told. Women don't fall for charm, jokes, or attention. They fall for emotional mastery. When a woman craves an older man, she's unconsciously scanning for a man who doesn't collapse under life's weight, who can hold space for her and himself simultaneously. The two questions she tests you with are her litmus test for that mastery. And if you misread them, desire slips through your fingers before you even realize it. Notice this. She doesn't ask directly about your feelings or intentions at first. She asks indirectly, subtly, so she can observe your emotional architecture. How you respond under small pressure tells her everything about your inner world. Men who over-explain, who justify, who seek approval, fail instantly. She doesn't need a story. She needs evidence that you can carry yourself with calm confidence. That is older masculine energy in its purest form. This is where most men trip themselves up. They mistake attraction for negotiation. They think answering correctly, impressing her with ambition, or showing competence is enough. It's not. She's looking for consistency under micro stress, for emotional regulation, for the ability to respond without performance. Your steadiness is what she craves. It's a magnetic signal that you are capable of more than you display. Understand this. These tests are not arbitrary. They are deeply biological. She's checking if you can be a reliable anchor in unpredictable situations. Can you say no without guilt? Can you lead without dominating? Can you hold your emotions without losing composure? The answers aren't in what you say, they're in how you are. And this is why older men, even quietly, command a level of attraction younger men rarely match. Here's the unspoken rule. She will lean in emotionally only when she senses that you can hold yourself, even when her energy is unpredictable. That subtle assessment happens in seconds. Her body feels your consistency long before her mind decides, and when that happens, her desire shifts from curiosity to deep, almost involuntary attachment. So stop thinking in terms of tactics or lines. Stop trying to perform to impress. The real power is invisible. It's in how you carry yourself when tested, in how calm your nervous system is, in how unshakable your presence feels. Master that, and she will test less and desire more. That's the secret men rarely learn. Women don't just want a man, they want the stability of his inner world reflected back to them. And once they feel that, nothing else matters. Are you ready to embody that? To pass the test she doesn't even announce? Because that is where the transformation happens, from being a man she notices to a man she craves. Now, here's the final truth most men never realize. Desire is never about proving yourself. It's about being fully yourself, anchored, unshakable, and real. When a woman craves an older man, she's looking for evidence that he is self-contained, that he can hold his own weight emotionally, and that he can navigate life without drama. Those two questions, the one about your path and the one about boundaries, are her subconscious way of scanning for exactly that. Think about this carefully. The moment she asks, "Where do you see yourself?" or "Would you do this even if it was inconvenient?" she's holding up a mirror to your inner world. Your answers are secondary to your presence. If you rush, if you justify, if you overcompensate, she feels the imbalance in her body, and attraction fades. If you pause, breathe, answer with calm authority, and maintain your energy, she feels magnetic pull. Desire ignites in silence long before words catch up. Here's the subtle trick almost no one talks about. Older masculine energy doesn't seek to impress, it seeks to embody. She isn't looking for perfection. She's looking for reliability, patience, and self-possession. She wants a man whose inner stability doesn't fluctuate with her moods or the chaos around him. That's why she tests. It's not to catch you out. It's to witness your depth, your consistency, your ability to lead yourself first. Understand this. Desire isn't built with tactics, routines, or charm. It's built by your internal architecture. Your nervous system, your emotional regulation, your ability to show up fully as yourself. That is what she is scanning with those two questions. That is what she craves. And when you embody it, she doesn't just notice. You become irresistible without trying. Her mind follows her body, and her body doesn't lie. So here's the final takeaway. Stop performing for her. Stop chasing. Stop trying to be what you think she wants. Focus instead on being steady, present, and aligned with your own life. Speak truth without apology. Set boundaries without guilt. Lead without dominating. When you do this, she will test less, lean in more, and desire will transform from curiosity into something primal, magnetic, and undeniable. Remember, women who crave older men are searching for something rare, a man who can hold himself entirely. These two questions she asks are her invisible gateway. Pass them with grounded presence, calm authority, and self-possession, and you will become the man she can't stop thinking about. You will become the man she subconsciously knows she needs. This is the secret older men instinctively understand, and now it's yours. The test is simple, but the mastery is profound. Be that man, and everything else falls into place.